Welcome back to the Aether Universe Podcast. We are your hosts, Aly and AJ. On this week's episode, we are going to be discussing whether or not it was a smart idea for Milo Simms Sr. to seek out the Pyro Stone and take it for himself. And we'll be right back right after this message. Break.
Intro. Welcome back to the Aether Universe Podcast, where everything Aether is on the table. I am your host, AJ, and here with me is Aly.
Woohoo!
And we are
Sounds
Aly and
weird
AJ.
with it being backwards.
Yeah, that's I had to correct it. We are Aly and AJ. It fits better. Damn those Machaka sisters. Anyway, we kind of went into something on the last week's episode where we were discussing Tawny Simms, and something came up that was actually a part of our episode topic list. And I just decided that today might be the day that we jump into that, because I thought it was a really good controversial topic to discuss for Aether Universe fans. For one day in the future, there's going to be somebody to ask, like, yo, this situation all happened because of this. That probably couldn't have happened. That we could have left that alone and everything would have been fine. But I wanted to talk about it because even we have differing opinions on whether it was a good idea or not. So I wanted to talk about Milo Simms Sr. taking the Pyro Stone from Jacob Maxwell. Was it a stupid idea? Was it a good idea? Who knows?
Or would it inevitably have happened anyway?
Yeah. If somebody would have took it, like maybe. I don't know.
I feel like that might have been the case, because I feel like anything that's dark and secret and whatever always seems to make its way out into the universe, and somebody goes to find it.
So, like, I do agree with that, because the old saying, everything done in the dark always makes its way to the light. So like that definitely does make sense, and it's true. What goes up must come down. And like, we had to remember that during the time that Maxwell had the Pyro Stone, what he was using it for. He was using it, extracting his energy to harvest. He was harvesting the energy so that he can use it for other things. And one of those things being to create people with powers. He saw the whole caster incident that happened in wherever I forgot what city that was in, but whatever happened with when Tori and Kane found the first caster. He saw what happened there. He saw how powerful that person was. Him and Tori and Kane, the leader of the Blackout Alliance, they exchanged notes on it. No one really knew about that situation, but they discussed it. And he wanted it. Like, he felt like, okay, well, we're already $1 billion tech company over here at Primotech. My father's legacy is to dive into things like this. So why not take advantage of that? So he did that. Yeah.
And Milo was just trying to stop him from creating more of those super soldiers, right?
Well, Milo just worked for him. Like, Milo Simms Sr., he was a Primotech associate. He was a Primotech engineer that was working on the project, but he didn't know exactly what the project was for. So in the book, The Gem Stay Siege, you can hear him asking questions like, yo, like, what are we even measuring all this data for? Like, why are we here? And like, there was almost like this brainwashing that took place inside Primotech that, lo and behold, Milo Sr., it didn't really take.
Yeah.
This little brainwashing technique that Primotech did to their associates to make them just agree with everything that they were doing, it didn't work on him.
Yeah.
So he was like,
he was a little bit more curious and decided to take matters into his own hands.
So why are we doing this? And you could tell, like, during the scene where he was talking to his coworker, the guy that he was sharing his office with. He started asking questions, and the guy was looking at him like, "Yo, like,
why are you asking so many questions?
What are you talking about, man? Like, what do you mean? What are we doing here? What?" Like, and then like the whole thing with, like, it was a, and I think at some point I'm gonna go back in and kind of add a little more mystique to that, because it was like kind of sudden where he like found out like, all right, my phone's been hacked. Like, I don't know what this is all about. This is my first time seeing it. And then he started asking a whole bunch of questions. I think I'm gonna go back and add a little more mystique into that, like a little bit more background into the sketchiness of Primotech and like from the past on to that moment where he found out. But it was just a whole bunch of curiosity that led him down a dark path.
Well, is it a dark path, or is it more of like a enlightening path?
Well, it's enlightening for him, but it was dark in a sense of
there was
darkness.
More.
It was darkness that he was walking in, and he didn't know it.
True.
So it was somebody else's darkness, but he was getting enlightened, and when he got enlightened, it just kind of made his path dark.
Yeah,
because
true.
It led to
additional people being impacted.
Right.
Inevitably not stopping what he thought was going to be stopped.
Yeah, he just kind of made it worse. He took the perceived problem and put it in front of the actual problem.
True.
And when I say that, the actual problem being his son.
Yeah. I don't want to be too spoilery.
I mean, like you said, the book is already out. If you read the book, damn it, The Gem State Siege, go get it from Amazon right now. The Gem State Siege, the link is in the description. What book are we talking about? We are talking about The Gem State Siege. This is the book report. Here we go. So like a lot of people question the perspective that the Gem State Siege is told. And I want to make it clear right now that the Gem State Siege is told in the perspective that it's told in, because I want you to see exactly, or to be mystified by the fact that there were things going on around the environment. This one individual, or these two individuals, being Milo Simms Jr. and his mom, Tawny Simms. Like, I want you to understand that these two individuals were the actual problems. And though you look at the relic, the Pyro Stone in the first book, and it looks like the Pyro Stone might be this object, like you thinking like Lord of the Rings, the ring is the problem. Like, no. In the Gem State Siege, it's not the relic itself that's the problem. It's all the people that surrounds the relic. And if you notice, like in the end, what happens when, I ain't gonna tell the ending like that, but just based off of the ending alone, you understand like, oh, it wasn't even about that in the first place.
Right.
It was about this. So like, where it would be perceived that this story was about the Pyro Stone, it wasn't. It's just how Milo remembered it.
Yeah, from his own perspective as a 5-year-old kid.
Yeah, and based off of the things of the moment that story is being told, because if you look at it like canonically, like how the books are written, if I actually put them in order, the books aren't. Book 1 wouldn't be the Gem State Siege. Book 1 would actually be Luke's story, the Guardian of the Pacific.
Yeah.
And then Milo at the point of in between book 4 and book 5, or book 5 and book 6, Milo would be telling the story of what happened in book 1 at that point. Whether or not Milo Simms Sr. taking that Pyro Stone would have made much of a difference. And this is not something that I've written about. Like, as far as like canonically in the story, like it's not something that I actually jump into. What would have happened? Like, I think it'll make a good what if story.
Right.
But as far as like excuse me, as far as like would it have made a difference to the story, I think it would have slowed things down.
It would have.
But I don't think it would have changed anything.
It wouldn't.
Because the real problem wasn't actually the
Pyro Stone itself or who possessed it. It was the fact that he just happened to get it to Milo Jr. faster than
right.
If he were to find it on his own.
He sped up the inevitable.
Yeah. Because inevitably Maxwell would have found Milo Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have somehow tried to use his own powers to his own.
Yeah, because he was part of the study.
Yeah.
He was part of okay, I am studying this thing here. And the things that I'm doing, the only thing that it has done so far is created this dumbass Codex virus that now I have to get rid of. But there's this one person who is exuding the same energy that I'm trying to extract and put into other beings. So we need to get him and figure out how it works.
Right.
If we can get our hands on him and dissect this kid, then maybe we might be able to figure out this whole thing, and this Codex virus wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
But instead, he ended up making people sick, and people being sick ended up doing the exact same thing as the first caster who killed it. Yeah.
Inevitably turned him into something that they couldn't control.
Right. So, you know what I just realized? Like I didn't necessarily. Like everybody in the state of Idaho during the Gem State siege got killed before the Codex virus actually
took over
their bodies.
That's so sad.
Yeah, like you got infected with something, and it was so treacherous that some anti-government legion came in and just decided to wipe out everybody before you even got sick. It's almost like in Resident Evil with the T virus, like the T virus started spreading, but nobody died from it yet, or nobody started turning into zombies, and like a whole city of people just get massacred before they start turning into zombies. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think you took a little bit of inspiration from that, maybe.
Possibly. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be like that at first. Like, I didn't know where the story was going, because you remember it was like that story or the concept of the Gem State siege kind of came out of nowhere.
True. We had 10-book series.
Yeah, the entire series came out of nowhere. We had no intention on writing that. That wasn't even a part of the main plot at all. But I think like between that and like the pandemic and things like that, I was like, yo, what would happen if ...
Yeah.
And I think I just started taking a lot of inspiration from a lot of things that was going on around us.
Yeah.
And
in typical AJ fashion, you decided to make plenty more stories and characters.
Yeah. I apologize for that right now, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for not being not being boring. Sorry.
I guess we'll take it.
Well, I guess that concludes this episode. We can go ahead and wrap things up. Like I said before, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit that little bell and get notified about these episodes, because we release them every single week. Also, make sure that you purchase the Gem State Siege if you want to know exactly what we're talking about in the story that we just, kind of summarized a little bit, and want to know what happens next in that little tragic situation. And you love a good conspiracy type story, conspiracy thriller that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Make sure you get over to Amazon.com or AJMcMullen.com and purchase the Gem State Siege, book 1 of the Arcane and Calamity series. That book is on sale right now, as well as the 2 books that comes after, Guardian of the Pacific and Aryan Fallout. So be sure to get over there and get those books. If you haven't read them by now, you probably don't want to be watching or listening to this podcast, because you're going to get spoilers out the wazoo. So yeah.
Check out the links below. They'll take you directly to the sites. And make sure to pick up a copy.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, this has been the Aether Universe Podcast. My name is AJ, and here with me as always
is Aly.
All right, guys, remember, there is no life without balance. Peace. Love you guys. See you on the next one.
For more information on AJ McMullen and the Aether Universe, please visit ajmcmullen.com.